Well, I thought, it was kind of a different stories woven within that basketball game. We had 11 turnovers in the first half, really sloppy decision making. The 3 of them in the post, bad passes, bad decision, and some perimeter stuff going on. 5-second call on end out of bounds. Just didn't have the crispness and the execution and real solid poise on a road game where we've got to be better, frankly. And then we kind of addressed that situation at halftime and only had 3 turnovers in the second half, and then all of a sudden it turned into not being able to make open shots and shots around the rim. So I thought offensively we put a lot of strain on ourselves. We weren't functioning very well. We're going to get back to the drawing board this week and make sure we clean some stuff up. We saw a lot of zone between Oregon State and Oregon, and the week before it was man, and heading into the Arizona, I know we'll see a lot of man against Arizona, and who knows what against Arizona State, but we just have to play harder. There's sometimes I think you get lost in, hey, let's play hard defensively and scramble around, and we didn't have the sense of urgency that we needed to on offense. It's a mindset right now. February is hard. You get to the end of February, I've listened to some other coaches talk about it, but this is that time of year when, to me, there shouldn't be a whole lot of thinking going on. There can't be any pity parties if you're not playing enough. There can't be any regrets because of effort. I mean, it's stuff that we've talked about all year. Case in point, at the game against Oregon, when I blew a gasket in a timeout in the first half, in the middle of that turnover barrage, yet it's tied. It's like 21-21, and we had 8 turnovers. You can't, certain things you can't talk about anymore. You can't talk about playing hard, and you can't talk about not turning it over. Certain things you have to bring to the table, and I think the challenge is for our guys individually, is that everybody, when you're presented with an opportunity, and I feel like we've got a chance maybe to do something this year that would be memorable for a lot of years to come, and let's not complicate it. I'm internal in terms of what I'm trying to focus on. What can I do to help our team? And I'm not worried about people's feelings this time of year, and I'm not worried about a lot of external stuff. And I think that's what our players need to do too, is what is it I can do to help our team? What do I need to bring to the table? Who's going to be our 50-50 ball guy, our loose ball scrapper that's going to go clean up all the mess and save some of those possessions at the end? I mean, who's going to jump up and make a big shot? Who's not going to turn it over? So those guys, those are challenges for each guy on our team. But it's not time for a big, coaches meeting and a big players only meeting and a players coaches meeting and blah, 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 because we've had enough meetings. And I think it's that time of year where you just get a little bit on edge and personally get a little bit cranky and internalize some things and make sure everybody's holding up their end of the bargain. And if we do that individually, then hopefully we can accomplish some collective goals. But it's not, again, it's not time for a lot of talk. I think it's time for some action. We're not concerned about that. I think that's something that might be a better story for you guys out there, actually. But nothing changes for us in the last 3.5 years. It's never about somebody that's further down the schedule, and I'm not fearful of that at all, because our coaching staff is not wired that way, and our players aren't wired that way. It's what's in front of us. We won't be talking about Arizona internally until Thursday night. So, you guys can discuss that, but I don't know. I'd be really surprised if that were the case for us.